Yo guys, what is up? It is CJ or Sorable bringing this video on my channel once again. Now in today's Krunkr video, I'm going to be showing you how to get your FPS from this to this, just in a few easy steps. Now even though FPS isn't very important to the game anymore in terms of physics, because physics that were tied to FPS are no longer tied to FPS, so you could be playing at 60 FPS and it looked like you'd be playing at 600 FPS. But I still get comments till this day how to get more FPS. It does make your game look a lot smoother and cleaner, and it's very easy to boost your FPS. Now before we get into the video, if this video does end up helping you, make sure you guys leave a like and also subscribe to the channel for more Krunkr content like this. We're getting really close to 100,000 subscribers, so if you guys could help me get there, it'd mean the world to me. And without further ado, let me show you how to get more FPS in Krunker.io. So as you guys can see, we are on the Steam client. The Steam client just came out and it's super amazing. However, not everybody has access to a client. And what I mean by that is stuff like Chromebooks and stuff like that cannot actually download clients like the official Krunker client or even the Steam client. It's unfortunate, but we do have a workaround around that. So as you guys can see, I have 60 FPS right now. If I go into my settings, under general, and scroll down, you guys will see under client, unlimited FPS. And for client, it really is that easy. You turn this on and you can have as many frames as you want, or more or less as many frames as your PC will allow you to have. So as soon as I turn this on, it says app will now restart. Restarts, we sit here with our hands up, it's gonna load up. This load up animation is so beautiful, I love it so much. And then once we load into the game, as you guys can see, the FPS is skyrocketing. And the FPS is really good on Steam, don't get me wrong. We're still getting like an 800-ish frames, almost 900. But like I said, not everybody can have clients on their computers. That was kind of cool. That was on accident. And the way I'm about to show you could possibly even get you more FPS than you get on client. And the way we are going to get more FPS is through a web browser. And that web browser is called Brave. Brave is a really good web browser to get more FPS in Krunker. And it honestly just really optimizes the gameplay for your system. Now to get started with this, let's go through the settings and turn off some things that we just do not need. And if you're one of those people who just has unlimited FPS, that's perfectly fine. However, we're trying to get more FPS. So if you want more FPS, make sure you turn off some of these settings I'm about to show you. Now under render is the most important thing to save you FPS. First off, there's the resolution. I play on 2 because my PC can handle it and it looks super crisp. But if we turn it down to 1, as you guys can see, it looks almost identical. And that's gonna save us a lot of FPS. Now we can even bring it down to the extreme of 0.5 and the game still really honestly looks perfectly fine. Moving on down here, as you guys can see, we have no textures and map details. Turning on no textures will make it where you have no textures on any of the walls. It might look a little bit ugly, but trust me, it'll save you a ton of FPS. And map details are just small things like the water on Oasis or the grass on Sandstorm. It's stuff that you will literally never miss, so if you're not going to miss it, make sure you turn that off to save a ton of FPS. Particles also aren't super duper needed. Pretty sure it's just the smoke that comes up off the walls and ground when you shoot it. We can turn that off as well. Shadows look really nice, but they're not super duper needed, especially just for gameplay, because it's not like it's really going to hinder you at all. So let's go ahead and turn off shadows. Oh, and I actually missed something up here. As you guys can see right here, it says low spec, and pretty much what this is for is if you have a low spec PC. So you can turn that on and it'll save you a ton of FPS as well. Now clicking into the game with our brand new settings, as you guys can see, the game isn't super pretty, but if you are jonesing for FPS, this is the way you're going to be able to boost your FPS. You might be saying, CJ, your FPS didn't go up at all. And that's the thing that people have to realize at the same time is PCs can only do so much, and my PC really just maxes out at about 800-900 FPS. And certain maps also perform better than others, especially some of the older maps. So if we click on Berg, yeah, it's super ugly, but as you guys can see, we're getting, 1,000 FPS. And we're not even done yet. This is stuff that you can do on client. This is stuff that you can do on browser, but I've yet to show you how to get unlimited frames on browser. And like I said, we're gonna be doing that through a web browser called Brave. Now in the top link in the description, I will have my referral link to Brave. If you guys download that, use Brave for 30 days, it'll help me out a lot. Brave was my go-to web browser for a very long time, but now that the Steam client is out, I probably will be maining that just for content purposes. But Brave is still a very viable option. Especially if you can't get clients, you can always download different web browsers and use this technique I'm about to show you, especially Brave. And by the way, this is like the lowest of low. You don't have to turn off all of these things. It's just especially if you want the highest FPS. If you have a decent PC, you can honestly run Krunker without low spec and with no textures. So without further ado, let me show you how to get unlimited frames on web browser. Alrighty, so at this point, you should have already downloaded Brave through my referral link. But this first technique I'm going to show you is going to work on any web browser. So it could work for Brave, it could work for Google Chrome, it could work for Microsoft Edge. But for this specific example, we're going to be using Brave. So what you're going to do, if it's on your desktop, that's fine. But just to make things easier, we're going to right right click this, and then down here we're going to pin it to taskbar just to make things super easy. Once it's down here in your taskbar, you're going to want to right click it, and when you're doing this, make sure Brave is not open. In order for this to work, the web browser must be closed. So once you close the web browser, you right click this, make sure you right click Brave, and then this thing's going to pop up and you're going to press properties. Once we press properties, it's going to pop up with this, and you're going to be looking for this thing that says target. Then you're going to see a string of code right here saying where it is, what it is, and etc. At the very end of it, you're going to see a thing that says brave.exe, and then it's going to have a little quotation mark right here. Even on Google Chrome, as you guys can see, it says chrome.exe, then a little quotation mark. All you're going to want to do is press space, make sure you put that space in there, and then I have a code in the description that you can copy and paste into here to get unlimited FPS. So copy the thing that is inside of my description, make sure you right click and press paste, or press Ctrl V. And all that really did was disable the frame rate limit. As you see, it says -- disable -frame -rate -limit. Once you have that in there with the space, all you want to do is press apply and then OK. Then once you did that, you should be able to open Brave, and it should pop up like this. Then if we just go to Krunker, as you guys can see, my frame rate should skyrocket. And there you go, the frame rate is skyrocket. And then just going into Berg, normally with a few settings changed and the game still looks perfectly normal, we're getting 900 to 1000 FPS. And all we did was put a little bit of code inside of Brave. And this really just shows you guys how good Brave really is. Because as you guys can see, my game still looks perfectly fine, but I'm getting anywhere from like 900 to 1000 FPS, which is actually insane. We're jumping over 1000, sometimes to 1100 sometimes. And as you guys can see, my game still looks beautiful. And this is all through the power of Brave. So if you guys can't download a client, or maybe if you just want to play on browser, make sure you guys use Brave. As you guys can see, my game still looks beautiful, and I really haven't changed that many settings. All I changed was I changed the resolution to 1, and the only thing I believe that I have off is map details. So there's no map details, and my resolution is 1, and I'm getting like 1000 frames, which is literally insane. So guys, go make sure you go download Brave through my referral link. It helps the channel out a ton, and it's going to help you guys out a lot. We're just chilling at 1000. That's insane. And the game still looks good and everything. I really literally did not change that much. And like I said, this specific technique works on Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, whatever you want. And I'm also going to have a second code in the description. This is totally optional, but once you put a space after that quotation mark and paste this, what it's pretty much going to do is going to turn your Brave into a Krunkr client. So if we put that new code in, press apply, okay, and then reopen Brave, it's literally just going to open Krunkr immediately. And as you guys can see, this is pretty much just a Krunkr client in itself. And if you guys want to see the extremes of your FPS, you guys can look up FPS, and to the very right, there should be highest FPS. Load into the game, and as you guys can see, my FPS is 1700, almost 1800, which is literally insane. But that's just because this map's designed specifically to give you the max amount of FPS your PC can handle. So to make this clear, the first code was just to disable your frame rate limit on any browser. And then the second code, which is the advanced code, is to pretty much turn your Brave into a Krunkr client. And that's pretty much it, guys. It is super duper simple to boost your FPS. If you're on client, all it is just a button. And if you're on web browser, all you have to do is just go into properties, paste a code, and you have unlimited FPS. If this video did help you, make sure you guys leave a like on this video. And also in the comments down below, let me know what your frame rate was before Brave, and let me know what it was after Brave. But like I said, the first technique does work on every browser. So if Google Chrome is your main web browser, make sure you guys do it on there. If Microsoft Edge is your main web browser, do it on there. And then if you guys want to use Brave like me, it also works on here. You guys downloading Brave will help me a ton, and it really does mean a lot to me. But I hope this video was simple enough. I'm going to be making a few of these tutorials over the next few days, since we are going to be having a ton of newcomers with the Steam release. And like I said, I probably am going to be maining the Steam client, just because my FPS doesn't really fluctuate that much. This video was for the people who did not know they could just turn on unlimited FPS through client, and for the people who are confused why they couldn't on browser. And I hope this video cleared that all up. Ah, so close. But yeah, that was how to get more FPS in Krunkr, and how to potentially boost your FPS in Krunkr. By the way it really works is clients do take up a lot more processing and stuff like that than web browsers do. So that's why the web browsers do run a lot smoothly and have more frames. So keep that in mind, but I'm honestly personally loving the Steam client. I'm sure people are going to be playing official client. I'm sure people are going to be playing Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and even Brave. Like I said, make sure you guys use my referral link in the description down below if you are going to be downloading Brave. And I hope this video did help you, and I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and as always, it's been your boy, CJ Or Sorable. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.